All right, class. We're going to start here because I did forget to mention a few things while covering the 23 pairs of homologous human chromosomes, okay? So I did mention that the 23rd pair, your X and your Y, is what determines the sex of an individual, okay? Now, I do have to give you guys the definition of sex, okay? It's basically, in biological terms, genetically, what does the individual have, and what should the traits be because of that person's or individual's genetics, okay? Now, in biological terms, again, if it's XY, you will have a male. If it's XX, you will have a female, okay? Now, sex has nothing to do with gender, all right? And I'm not trying to offend anybody, but basically gender is what someone identifies as, okay? And, I don't think I could tell you anything about gender and what people can identify as because I don't have much knowledge on that, okay? All right, moving back on to meiosis. Okay, so meiosis produces 4 different haploid gametes, okay? Unlike mitosis, mitosis produces 2 identical diploid somatic cells, okay? Meiosis is 2 rounds of cell division. Mitosis is 1 round of cell division. Okay, now here's a difference between males and females, all right? Now, for males, okay, 1 full 2 cycles of meiosis will result in 4 viable sperm, okay? Whereas in our species, our females, all right, if they go through meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, all right, each time it divides, it produces what's called a polar body, or a cell that is non-viable. Okay, it cannot become a ovum that can be fertilized, and the body basically just absorbs the macromolecule nutrients from it back into the bloodstream in the body. Okay, now again, it splits and it produces 1 polar body. Okay, so in the end of meiosis 1 and 2, in females, you will have 1 viable ovum with 3 non-viable polar bodies that will be absorbed back by the female's body. Okay, so in this case, the female does hold the more valuable gametes. Okay, and here's another thing for the females in our species. Once a female is born, all right, her body will not produce any more ovum. Okay, before a female is born, they've gone through thousands upon thousands of cycles of meiosis, all right, and the ovum will be stored in the ovaries. Okay, from there, in our species, about once a month, 1 egg or ovum will be released. Okay, and that's why in our species, if you wait longer, all right, the ovum, after a certain age, you have more chances of, birth defects and stuff, okay? As opposed to males in our species that can actually continue to go through meiosis over and over throughout their lifetime, okay? And this is just the way we evolved, all right? Okay, moving on to meiosis 1. Okay, so meiosis 1, just like in mitosis, all right, there's prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Okay? Okay, a key difference here is that in prophase 1, your tetrads form. Okay? Remember your tetrads. It's when your mother's homologous chromosome with your father's, all right, they both replicate, and there's 4 sets of DNA, 2 identical, all right? And the others are homologous. Okay, now during this time, what's called crossing over occurs, and in the next slide, I'll tell you what crossing over means. Okay, so prophase 1, tetrads form. Okay, in mitosis, it's double chromosomes form. Okay, now, metaphase 1 in meiosis, tetrads will line up in the center, okay? As opposed to mitosis, all right, your double chromosomes line up in the center, okay? Anaphase 1, tetrads are pulled apart, okay? In mitosis, your X-shaped double chromosomes are pulled into single chromosomes. Here in this case, the tetrads are pulled apart, all right, but the whole double chromosomes are still intact, okay? And you guys will see this more easily in the other video that I post, all right, the one from YouTube. Okay, so look for that video. Okay, lastly, telophase and cytokinesis 1, all right, the X-shaped double chromosomes at opposite ends, all right, will start forming nuclear membranes. Okay, and that's the end of meiosis 1. Okay, now here's what crossing over is. Okay, here's your tetrad. Okay, homologous chromosome, one for your mother, one from your father. Okay, now what happens is that they switch alleles. Okay, they do this to recombine themselves. All right, so now once they recombine, it's known as a recombinant. Ooh, science is so hard, right? Since they're recombined, they're recombinant. Okay, now the reason for this is that so the eventual four different gametes will be a lot more different. Okay, and that's the whole reason for sexual reproduction, is so that there's a lot of differences out there. Okay, so there's a lot of variability. All right, there's a lot of variety. Okay, there's a lot of variance. All right. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so here is the picture. Okay, meiosis 1. Okay, see your tetrads form. Okay, crossing over occurs, alleles are switched. Okay, metaphase 1, your whole tetrads lined up in the center. All right. If this was a human cell, there'd be 23 tetrads lined up in the center. Okay. If this was mitosis, all right, in the human cell, there'd be 46 double chromosomes lined up in the center. Okay. Because remember, in mitosis, you want identical cells. In meiosis, it's all about being different. Okay. Okay, now, tetrads split, whole double chromosomes move toward opposite ends. Okay. And then, of course, here, at the end of meiosis 1, the nuclear membranes form, and you now end up with 2 different cells. Okay, at this stage, the chromosomes are recombinant because of the crossing over that happened in prophase 1. Okay. All right, next, meiosis 2. Okay, so it's very simple. Prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase, cytokinesis 2. Okay, now in prophase 2, the recombinant double chromosomes, all right, still intact. Metaphase 2, the recombinant double chromosomes line up in the center. Okay, meiosis 2 is also very similar in process to mitosis. Okay, anaphase 2. Okay, double chromosomes, recombinant double chromosomes are pulled apart into single recombinant chromosomes. Telophase 2, nuclear membranes form, all right? And now you guys have 4 different, all right, haploid nuclei. Okay, and once cytokinesis happens, you would end up with 4 different haploid gametes, all right? Okay, so right here, end of meiosis 1, okay, prophase 2, start of meiosis 2, prophase 2, all right, your recombinant double chromosomes. Metaphase, recombinant chromosomes in the middle, all right, same thing with both. Anaphase, recombinant double chromosomes ripped apart into recombinant single chromosomes. Okay, notice every one is different. Okay, and then here, the nuclear membrane forms, once cytokinesis happens, with 4 haploid, all right, 4 different haploid gametes, all right?